find that, as I said, women are souls. Souls are financial instruments. Women are financial instruments. Okay. My mom did her best work when she was married, both times, in using and sucking money and life out of the love of her choice. Right? And you don't have to doubt that she loved them or wanted them and needed them, that they weren't necessarily compatible people with her, and that she did suffer a lot on top of all the suffering that the males in her life gave her and her sisters when she was an infant. Okay, just to make a full circle there. Okay, right? And she became a financial instrument of torture against my father and sexually preyed on him. He didn't know what she was doing. Okay, right? There's no damage here. This is just what happens. Right? If you're a mature fucking person, you can carry on with high level academic discussion, or you're a fucking moron. Go away. If you want to cut my balls off while I'm doing the human race a favor, you often get cancer with your fucking family and die because you're a fucking useless cunt. Okay, back to the issue. So my mom did her best with the financial system when married, because it's for Maharaj. It's a mirage for a Maharaj, which is a war and a torture of men. So no wonder men try to slip the noose. They call it a noose, the wedding knot. Right? It's a noose for men. Okay. Right. People don't have to dislike it. They don't have to like it. They don't have to know this, but it's what's happening. Some people fare better than others. Some people fare better than others. Doesn't mean it's a good thing. We could put cyanide in the drinking water, and some people live, and you'd be like, "Hey, look, I'm living. I'm fine." That doesn't mean you should keep putting cyanide in the water, right? Basic logic, ethics. Try to follow along, you fucking cunt bags, because you live in a world that completely destroys and perverts all natural, ethical, logical, biological, and sexual proportions every day, all the time. It's amazing we don't have sun blown with pictures of penises going down your mother's throat. I'm sure they would do it if they could. It's definitely programmed into your media, into your music, and you can't hear it. Right? People like me can, because I train my brain to pick up those signals. So I can hear two characters talking in a popular Netflix show while their baby is there, and then I can hear the sound of them having sex, overlaid with the sound of their baby talking. Right? So that's all their baby is worth. That's all your baby is worth. Right? Right? How much do you think they think your sex is worth that they use it to abuse you? Your sexual energy is worth in what you call sex, right? Which backwards means yes. Yes, please, right? You're using language against your time. A sexual energy is a sacrificial energy. That's why people are always sacrificing themselves to be sexual. Only the soul is sexual. The soul is a sexualized financial instrument, converted from your natural infant flesh, blood, and brain function, and your natural relationships to living parents who orphan you by a death whose corpse you feed upon on behalf of the entire financial system. Lovely, right? The wonderful world. Right? And it's hard to live in this world for many years that it could be this evil. But what did you think was controlling the world? What did you think? You think it's just a bunch of people of more or less scrupulous to unscrupulous natures trying to achieve some political equilibrium in a difficult logistical landscape of evolutionary impulses and conflicting animal interests? Is that what you really think it is? Just like remove my testicles and eat them with my heart. I can't believe people believe that shit. Right? What do you think? You think Greece, Rome, and the industrial and enlightenment staved off the darkness of human ignorance and evolutionary compulsions that need to be set down by civil training and large-scale industrial warfare? Hey! Like, what do people think? What education do you find in the world? Nothing. You're not educated, right? You're acculturated. You're occulted. You're trained. You're abused. You're converted into something useful to the economic system, which is God. I'm not. What's wrong with me? Did they miss me or something? Do I have like an antidote? Some antigen in my blood? Well, the answer is right here. Do you hear the answer? Do you have holes in your head? Right? Or are you a fucking moron? There's the answer right there. You see? Go listen to the answer. Go back and rewind and listen to the whole fucking answer. Right? I am born every lifetime a living spirit. It has nothing to do with Christianity, it has nothing to do with the law, nothing to do with education, anthropology, Greece, Rome, Egypt, or any of the languages, economic, any of the body languages of merely ensouled, adulterated, acculturated people. Okay? I'm a lonely spirit. I'm a lonely fucking spirit, man. I have my mother at home, who I've restored to reasonable health over the course of several days of some really despicable invasions from local people. Okay? Just people just being normal, who being like psychopaths. They're just protecting my mom, protecting myself. She gets excited. They put parasitical chemicals into her blood through lying. They're liars, right? And liars put chemicals into people's blood, and then they get charged by and that they peak in them. We get them peaked with excitement, and then they become psychotic to their own family. When you're buying a car, that's what the salesman does to you, right? And you come home, you say, hey man, this car is amazing, blah blah. And you say, what are the payments? Yeah, and they gave me $500 on my Mercedes, because the seats were a little bit too. And this car is gonna be like awesome, man. And dude, like you just got robbed. Oh man, you're just a negative person. Fuck you. I'm gonna do some domestic abuse right now. Right? And one of the most common things I've had psychopaths say to me when I try to talk them down from the excitement that they get into is, you're ruining my good time. Right? You're ruining all my fun. You're ruining all my dreams. But what kind of dreams are based on lies? Right? You want to enter the world and become excited about being a peon? Right? Having some sort of depraved personality complex called a soul that can be socialized and sexualized in various perverted ways, whether it's hyper-conservative or hyper-promiscuous or everything in between. None of your sex is real any more than on a TV show. I've studied young people having sex, and it lasts about 13 to 30 seconds. They're not having sex, right? They're killing each other. They're trying to survive each other, right? And the female is always the most aggressive, not the man. She's the one running the show, right? She's the one who's in suitably lustful fashion to get her man, right? Right? She's the one entrapping him, right? She's the one with the womb, the reproductive organs, really. The only reproductive organs that really matter. Okay? I mean, yes, connected to all the other organs, obviously, but that is the central big ticket item of everything we're talking about. Because if you keep reproducing disgusting babies and illegitimate children, it doesn't matter what we talk about. We can't control their reproductive system. They're all about, oh, it's mine, it's my power. But they can't, right? They should get a license for that thing, right? And they're pumping children around. They have all the primary care of the most critical epochs of human brain development in all of the world. And look at the people who are given vaginas. Look at what the world does to them. Look at how they behave. They can't tell the truth about anything. No. I've been around girls of all ages who cannot tell the truth. If I say something, oh look, it's the sun, they'll say, oh no, it's not, it's a ball of hot glasses. Oh, what a wonderful, loving warmth. Oh no, that's just fucking cold photons giving you the illusion of thermodynamics. Oh, okay. They can never tell the truth. They can never tell the truth about anything, right? Right? They're always contradicting me. They can never listen to a single word I say in my entire life. Whenever I say something to a female, she always contradicts me. She can never listen to anything I say because they hate the truth. They hate the truth. If I say the sky is blue, they'll say it's fucking turquoise. Right? They're gone. The reason that they behave that way to me or to you or to anyone is because they're souls. They've been ensouled. They've been bought and sold. Bought. To be bought is to be tortured or killed. Your ba is the soul of death. The soul is born from the death of the spirit during your birth. When you die, you get your spirit back. You have lots of spirit when you die. So my grandfather was killed by a combination of female sexual predatory behavior. He lived to a nice age, and he was killed by the rage of my mom and so forth, as she has attacked me and both of the fathers that I've had, and thankfully has calmed down a bit. It's a lot of power. The soul has a lot of power. The soul is always born in torture, always born in a hell broken off from the heaven. The same thing as hell, right? Hell has been created. It's been broken off from heaven. Hell and heaven are the same thing. Okay? There's a symbiotic relationship between what we call the heavens and the earth, but it's not about war and annihilation and someone demanding total control and then punishing people for not giving it to him, right? That's the world, right? That's what they do to trap you in all your native surviving instincts of the spirit, saying, I don't want this. I don't want to believe this God, this authority. All police are sexual predators. Why should you look up to them? You should fear them because they're all fucking child-eating fucking sexual predators. It doesn't matter whether they touch you or not. Just being around them makes me sick. They're disgusting human beings. Now, for several months, getting stalked by them, I couldn't walk up and down that highway without a police car going by me. And yet, for the last 3 or 4 days, I haven't seen a single police officer. Why is that? Because the energy has passed. They're on to other things now. You see? They don't necessarily know that I can tell. What do you think they do with all their time? They stalk people all the time. They have nothing else to do in these small towns. They have nothing else to do. They're predators, right? They talk to children, right? Right? They demand complete obedience, wearing their stupid fucking Halloween costumes from everyone, right? The middle-class white woman loves them because she pretty much is one herself. She demands also total obedience. Her values, environmental and feminist, nothing against feminism really, but they're always absolutely true. She knows the wrong from the right. She knows that you're a bad person. She projects, she stalks. She never has any anxiety about being caught doing anything in all of her lying, deceiving, and cunning fucking ways. Perfect predator, right? And the financial system favors certain predators, and they're called polys. I don't know why they call them Karens. They should call them polys, because predatory women are polys. They're tax collectors for the biggest religion in the world. And every predator is connected to the biggest religion in the world because they, if they're a successful predator, of working for the galactic sort of global system, right, of the world. They work for the banks, right? So a successful female predator is always working for the banks. She's a perfect poly officer, right? And they're quite. You watch a police officer molesting people, they make it look, you know, they're not going too far, you know. They're just, you know, doing something completely perverted in public, right? In their own minds, they think they have restraints, but their restraints go far beyond ethical boundaries, right? Socialization, remember, is sexualization, and the police are socialized people, right? Right. The police and socialized people will often offer you unsolicited advice because they know how other people should behave. A lot of their work is meeting people in conflict, and they arbitrate how people they don't like should behave. They really think they know what's going on, how you should behave. The first thing police officers do when they come up to me is try to control me physically. That's one, right? Come into my personal space, dominate me physically, and try to tell me how to behave, right? Just make up lies and make up anything. Then you usually don't know what they're talking about. The switchboard works with them. right? They never feed them the correct information, and it's usually a female. My mom worked for the police. She's a sexual predator. She's a beautiful human being. I understand these women can be beautiful human beings. They can be somebody's mother. Your work as a soul, right, is very much separate from who you really are, because who you really are is protected from that. Your spirit and whatever is left of your flesh and blood, that of course, otherwise you'd be dead, right? So if women really became full demons, they would die, right? Because you can't really fully be a demon through be a soul. You can't be what most women think they're supposed to be, or they'd be dead. What most women think they're supposed to be in the world, right, would kill a natural person. It's cancer. What women want to be is cancer. They want to be cancer. They want to be completely naturalized to the banking system and all of its fashions, right? So they can always have power and feel like they're part of the existence of the true purpose of God. That's what every religion wants to do. Every fashion, every society, every predator, male or female. Now almost everyone is female, in the sense that people are converted to being a soul. Adam and Eve basically just means one soulful woman. Okay? That's all it means. Right? Study the language. Language means torture. Language. The wages of sin is death. You're earning debt. You're earning your death every day you go to work. It's just death. Right? My first day on a real job at Kentucky Fried Chicken, I was a female branch manager. Why? Right? Because that's all part of the training. Right? She was a trainer, and that was part of my training. I had to be sexually assaulted by her. Me in particular, right? Because she had her eye on me. And then there was another branch manager came in. He started sexually assaulting me as well. Eventually, he was moved out. They didn't seem to stay very long because they had other people to molest, I guess. He also molested females in the store, right? Always the nicest people, right? Always the nicest people, right? Why? Why do they go for the nicest people? Because that's what the financial system wants. If you don't work enough for us, right? Nice men always get hurt, right? If you're not compatible enough with the financial system of the fake carcinogenic female, who if she was fully female would die, because everything you think is female is death, and it's of the soul, which is a financial instrument, a demon, an actor on the stage, and the owner of the theater, and the light that shines in the darkness, and the darkness comprehendeth it not. And when you start looking at what the light of women is telling you, you'll see that they're all demons. They're constantly luring men into false and dangerous circumstances, right? You see it in movies all the time. Women always bring harm to their men. Do that because they're conditioning men to accept it. That women are their doom. There's a reason why they didn't like to bring women on long sea voyages. Because even back then, and so much as that ever happened, because history is largely mythological, right? You wouldn't want a woman on the ship because they bring death and disintegration on them. They're banking objects. Right? You didn't want to work in an office with all women. Cannibalize each other. Right? Women can't control themselves. Part of that is the overproduction of estrogen, forced out of their bodies through oppression. So they become, most women are violent people. It's interesting that they're also the number one accuser of violence, right? Because predators always have to project onto their victims. Most women who claim they're being abused are doing the abusing, right? Every woman I've met sexually abuses or did or raped the father of their first child. Every one. Every single one. Everyone. And later, right, that's all they do. They don't know any better. Women are conditioned this way, right? They're conditioned every day. The mall is for that, right? The mall is Disneyland for women, right? You hear it all the time. I love shopping. Right? Retail therapy, right? Yay, it's funny. That's a cool phrase. Huh? Retail therapy, man. Oh, it feels good, right? They love shopping, right? Go into any store. Women shopping everywhere. They're professional shoppers. I go to a store, men go in a store, and they're like, as possible, right? Because it's full of what? Chemicals and estrogen. It's a place that men go when they go shopping. I go fucking buying something for my mom once in the store, a young female me who was clearly sexually promiscuous. And, and I just couldn't get out of there fast enough. They're putting out so much fucking sexual energy. And she was so used to it, so comfortable with it, so comfortable having that dominance over a man, right? Her pubic hair producing estrogen and pheromones, right? To sell me a pair of stretchy yoga pants, right? It's incredible what good actresses they are, right? What good seraphim. That flaming sword is really just a flaming vagina, a chlamydia-ridden hole, an ass in the sky, out of which their children are supposed to come and go back to when they die. That, right? If you look at the old paintings of the tunnel to heaven, asshole, right? The angels are anal fissures. It's all they are. They're blowing the trumpet of anal fissures, coming back into the crap pile, right? Right? The spirit is not meant to have any portals. There's no cultural portals to heaven. They're not meant to be elevated by the system, by it. All elation in culture and finance is to trap you in a creation owned by the royal family. Right? They're completely sadistic. They'll use every kind of witchcraft. They've got dominance in every language, in every field. They have you when you're a child. They have you all the way. They've got you. They've got your mind. They've got your heavens. They've given you stars and starships, giving you words like captain of the Starship Enterprise, and you don't know that that's the bank. That's why the Federation doesn't need money. It's the banking system. And they're renting your mind for free, just flying around it for the rest of your life on the Starship Enterprise. You really think you're ever going to go into a fucking spaceship? The only place it's ever going to happen is in your fucking mind, dude. Right? You're not going to go to the moon. You're not going to go to fucking Mars. That shit is all made up. They're all actors. Right? They're not even good actors. Because they have you since you were a child. They got you traumatized. The Space Challenger explosion. Right? Apollo 13, the movies. It's all a movie, man. They created a fanciful world for you. So you never know what's real. Except that it's a royal litany of your own death. By every measure of your so-called freedom, knowledge and enlightenment. Your memories and your memorial united in that consummation devoutly to be wished. You can quote me on that. It's okay, I'm not that smart. I'm sure you're much smarter than I am. I'm just a stupid, tiny little man who walks around talking to himself. How could I possibly know your world better than you do? You're a big, working person, full of power. You're socialized. You've got friends. You're part of social groups. You know what's real about the environment. You know that outer space is. You know that the professionals know better than I do. How could I possibly know these things? And the fact that you don't know how someone could speak this way is exactly how I know you're a fucking demonic, stupid fuck. You can't even imagine a world that could be this evil. And consequently, you'll never help with anything. Because you never want to see anything in front of you, around you. You don't want to acknowledge what human behavior is really saying. I care about people. I listen to how they behave. And if they're behaving in ways that are dark and demonic, then I say so. Right? There's a sexual predator in a building that's been grooming my mother to use her and make her a friend/employee. And I got caught yesterday. Right? I help my mother see the light. Way clear, because anything that demons try to do is never sound. All you have to do is show your loved one that it is unsound. They always lead people to do unsound things. Take this rope to you and jump off this cliff. It's amazing. We'll make a video. No thanks. I love life too much. Why would you ever do that? I watched a video about people jumping off cliffs tied with nothing but a rope tied around them. Why would you do that? Why? If you love life. If you love life, why would you do that? If you like being alive so much. It doesn't make any sense. It's an insanity. Right? Why would you climb mountains with no gear? Why would you do mountain climbing at all? What's the point? Really? What's the point of climbing a mountain? Because you can? Does that mean you should? Do all mountains have to be climbed? There are many low-lying hills, special equipment to go up. You can get incredible views. You go to the top of the mountain, you can barely see anything. It's all so far away. Only the eagles are meant to go there. What good is it to stand on top of Mount Everest? You can't even see a fucking thing. And through all the people who scaled Everest, a single fucking demon spout any poetry or anything they learned by going to the top of the mountain. It's useless, right? Only demons do it. That's why so many people die doing it. You're not supposed to. You understand? Fucking morons. Fucking morons. Average citizen is a fucking moron. They believe everything. It's also exciting. And if it's exciting, it must be good. It's on YouTube and it's exciting. It's on YouTube. So it's a lot more mild than my mom said it would be. Well, tomorrow's supposed to get even warmer, so it's good. Winter coming. I'm gonna go to the island today, but I've decided first I'm gonna go to Raft River, let it warm up a bit first. My home is relatively healthy now. People, doctors, clinicians, so-called therapists, homeopaths, they suffer from derangements of the mind. They can believe anything. They'll give you research for anything. They'll say, oh, it's not real. There's nothing real about homeopathy. Naturopaths are all sexual predators. They're usually female. There's a lot of Asians in the health industry. They're all cannibals. Chinese medicine is a crock of shit. Acupuncture is a crock of shit. Right? They're torturing you for money. When people are being predatory, they don't know what they're doing. They use their personality complex to normalize it. So predators I've met, like there's no advantage to them to become self-aware of the effect of their behavior, and that whatever it may be, it is effectively eliminating all natural and proportional provisions for the voice and safety of other people, or you. They never want to hear that. They live their life to avoid ever hearing it. They never hear the screams of their victims. Some demonic women have actually helped me, because even with all the demonic females in the world, there are still chinks that allow the true light in. Not the light of this world, the light of truth, which is different than the light of this world. It is not a light that shines in the darkness, and the darkness comprehendeth not. Although it could be. This light doesn't care if the darkness comprehends it or not. It is self-luminous. You can understand me, you cannot understand me, it's your fucking issue. You can use the holes in your head or not. I can't do anything to you. Oh, beautiful river. Pretty high right now. Not nearly as high as the river. Everything's quieted down, so I came from going down the upper end of the river to this lower end of the river, and consequently it's a lot more peaceful. I've met one nice gentleman today, so that's good. Teacher, leave those kids alone? How can you leave a kid alone? Because the whole nature of the kid is to be sacrificed. Right? It's programmed right in there. Right? Pink Floyd is a controlled government operation. When I meet people, whatever music they listen to, whatever their thing is, whatever their gender orientation, the one thing that I look for is how have they used their minds and how do they exercise every day? And what do they eat? All those things go together. You don't have to eat GMO-free organic food, just the general movement of mind, body, and nutrition. Some sort of thoughtfulness in those realms. But you'll see like people on YouTube who do physically strenuous activities, like camping, whatever, they never do anything with their minds except set up a tent and light a fire. They never do anything to say, probably because they know that nobody wants to hear anything anyway. No one wants to hear what anyone thinks. You just want a 15-second video of a cat burping or sounding like Elvis. That's all you want. You don't need a girlfriend because the spirit is a naturally intimate thing. The spirit is intimate with things. The idea of romantic poetry is the spirit has a natural intimacy with creation. There's a natural interaction with like mother and child, father and child, man and woman. There's a natural intimacy to the spirit and to the spirit of the flesh and the mind and the blood. There's a natural intimacy. You don't have to have sex with someone to be intimate and to use your sex energy. There's enough to do. You could never have sex and be a healthier person than people who do. You're not abstaining. You're just protecting yourself. People, women especially, they move to sexual appetites way too quickly.